Hello everyone. My greetings to each one of you. This is the sixth session on basic economic problem. In the previous few sessions, you have understood about resources which are limited and scarce, about human wants which are unlimited. So there is a need to allocate the resources in order to match the two conflicting facts. I am Poonam Vohra from Egypt Economics Learning Center. This session focuses on the allocation of resources. It is very relevant because the purpose of any economizing agency is to obtain maximum possible output by effectively utilizing the scarce resources so that maximum possible wants of the society gets fulfilled. So let us understand more about allocation of resources. We have learned that economic problem is the problem of choice relating to allocation, full utilization, and growth of resources. Allocation of resources refer to the problem of assigning scarce resources in such a manner that maximum possible wants in an economy gets fulfilled. This is concerning what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. As resources are scarce, effort has to be made to utilize these resources fully and efficiently with the purpose of growth in resources. Growth in natural resources is possible by their preservation and regeneration. Growth in human resources is possible by providing education, skills, and training. In man-made resources, growth is possible by having an increase in its resource base. And how will it be done? It is possible by advancement in technology, discovery of new inputs, increasing labor productivity, growth in quantity and/or quality of inputs. This will enable an economy to have an increase in its production potential and hence advancement. The first central economic problem is what should be produced in an economy for the general well-being of people. Every economy has to decide whether it should produce more of consumer goods or more of capital goods. Within the consumer goods, the economy has to decide whether it should produce more necessities or more luxuries. And within capital goods, the economy has to decide whether it should produce more wartime goods or more peacetime capital goods. Also, the decision has to be taken with respect to the quantity to be produced. Over time, only those goods and services for which consumers are willing and able to pay the price will generally be produced. The purpose is to allocate the resources in such a manner which provides satisfaction to maximum people in the country. The problem of how to produce involves a choice between labor-intensive and capital-intensive techniques of production. A choice has to be made between these two methods because labor-intensive techniques generate huge employment opportunities but low growth, whereas capital-intensive techniques results in low employment opportunities but faster growth. For example, textiles. Should textiles be produced with more labor and less capital or less labor and more capital?
It's the availability of factors and their relative prices that help in determining the technique to be used. The purpose is to combine the factors of production in such a manner so that maximum output is produced at minimum cost using least possible scarce resources. Now, factors of production contribute to the entire production, so they must be compensated for their efforts. This compensation arises from the output produced. So, how this output is distributed forms the problem of for whom to produce. So, it is concerned with distribution of produced goods among the people in the country. That is, it refers to the selection of category of people who will ultimately consume goods. That is, whether to produce more goods for poor and less for rich, or more for rich and less for poor. Since the resources are scarce, no society can satisfy all the wants of its people. Thus, a choice arises. So, goods are produced for those who have the paying capacity. The paying capacity depends upon the level of income. It means this problem is concerned with distribution of income among the factors of production who contribute to the production process. For example, wheat produced by the farmer is sold for money. He then needs to distribute to land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. That is, those who contribute to the production process. The money received by factors of production is in the form of rent, wages, interest and profits respectively. And this determines the purchasing power for other goods and services. So the purpose is to ensure that urgent wants are fulfilled to maximum possible extent.
Now assess yourself and answer in one sentence. The question is, what is efficient technique of production? It's quite simple. Please check your answer. Efficient technique of production is one which produces maximum level of production at minimum possible cost of production. I hope you have understood the entire concept of allocation of resources. With this, the session comes to an end. The next session would focus on opportunity cost. Till then, keep reading, keep learning and keep practicing.